Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to another video. Today is just going to be a little short one. I want to share with you a vintage castle that I picked up, another one, to add to the collection, as well as show you some new stuff that I added to the studio. So let's get into it. Firstly, if you've watched any previous videos, you will have noticed that you couldn't really see a lot of the top shelf stuff because there was no light up there. And now there is. I put just a thin strand of LED lights up on the top shelf to just give it a little bit more backlight to help show off some of the sets. I know that I could have probably put the strip in the front to maybe illuminate this stuff a little bit better. Honestly, it doesn't really show up as well on camera as you can see it not on camera. Like, that looks really dark, but I can absolutely see it. I don't know. The phone isn't picking it up as well as I had hoped, I guess, but it looks really, really good. And I'm really happy with it, and now it feels like it creates a much better connection between the two shelves and adds a lot more light to the space. And I'm very happy with it. I would have put it in the front, but it's kind of hard to get back there, even on a ladder. And with like the setup in front here, it's tricky to get back there. So it's sort of tacked down, but if I had put it in the front, it would have been harder to slide sets back out. I didn't want to have like a lip, like a bump to be able to like pull the sets out. I think that makes sense. I just have some stuff set up there. This is not like its final form. I'm just starting to like move some of the pirate sets to here. I still haven't built a bunch of them yet and all of that. But as well as I added, along with the giant ship here, I added the Lion King Leo's Castle and the Fortress, Fire-Breathing Fortress. These were my two main castle sets that I had from childhood. I know that King Leo's Castle is not like a super beloved castle set of some of the older era castles, but it's very nostalgic to me. And yeah, it's not like the coolest build, but it has some really cool parts to it. I love the stained glass, and I love the giant lion head flag or banner, I guess, in the back, and then the fire-breathing fortress here. So, you know, already we're kind of running out of room. Some of this stuff will get moved. Some of that stuff will get moved. I know I have a couple other different sets down here, and those will probably end up going up here at some point. But I may not be able to show off everything, so some of the stuff might get taken down. But again, I need to finish building my castle sets, and I need to finish building some of the pirate stuff as well, just to kind of see how it's all going to work, and then we'll sort of play Tetris with it. But that's where we're at right now, which leads me into the newest set that we can add to the vintage collection and the shelf, and we'll now have to make room for this is the Black Monarch Castle. I think this is from 1988. This was sort of an impulse buy. I saw it on eBay when I was doing some other things on the app, and the seller had it for a good price, and so I nabbed it, and I was sort of like, oh, maybe I should have waited and looked around a little bit more, but it was one of those that, I don't know, it just looks really cool. I just think it's very foreboding, and like, I just really like how it looks. And I know that it uses a lot of panels, it's an older build, and all that kind of stuff, but honestly, building this set was really nice. I mean, outside of the old instructions and, you know, playing the guessing game of how does this picture look different? So it took a little bit longer than probably it would you know, with today's instructions, but that's okay. It was still fun to build, and I know there's a lot of panels and things, but man, it was a lot of fun, and honestly, it was such a better build than, like, this castle set. I think that's from 2013, Knight's Castle, Knight's King. I really need to, like, remember names and stuff like that. But anyway, that build, you know, it was fine. It was fine. I didn't pay full price. I got a really, really great price on that set. But for being so much newer, like, I guess going back to that era, then this is the era that I was in, right? And then this was the era I missed out on. That era isn't that great. Like, I knew that build wasn't super awesome. I knew that it wasn't, like, this beloved set. I still like it because it's a castle set. Like, Lego Castle is still, I love it. But yeah, that build, man, you go back. It's like they didn't have as many different piece types at that time, and this build was so much more fun. There were some elements here that I didn't even realize were around when this set came out, like the curved 1x2 bricks. I didn't even know those existed. Back in that time, and it creates this really cool little tower. Again, this one and that one both use, like, a lot of panels, right? And a lot of those panels, like this Forestman one, that uses a lot of panels. Obviously, these used panels and stuff like that, but this one used it in such a, I don't know, a much more pleasing way, I guess. I love the brick-built gate. The drawbridge is just sort of, you know, whatever, but it just looks really cool. I love the use of the black and gray, and it doesn't have a lot of stuff going on inside, but it does open up. It has a little jail cell right there, and the towers were pretty cool. Like, it's still a pretty basic set, but for the time, the gatehouse is pretty cool. I would love to see a modern take on this. While I was building it, I just was like, oh my gosh, seeing a modern take on this would be so cool. Plus, it comes with so many minifigures and shields. So many of these dragon... So, I don't know... Are these the Black Knights? I don't know my lore well enough as I should, because these are the Dragon Knights, I believe, right? In the Fire-Breathing Fortress. I mean, they have a dragon. I think that's the Dragon Knights. So that's what I knew. I don't know if... I think these are the Black Knights. I mean, it's the Black Monarch Castle. The thing about, honestly, the biggest sort of, I don't know if it's a disappointment, but man, back in the day, I mean, obviously they have all the smiley faces. That's just part of it. The plumes are really, really cool. The helmets are fine, right? I still love these bullet helmets. These torsos are totally fine. No problem with them. But, man, the chainmail on some of those older figs. I have a couple other figures like that with that chainmail. Boy, it's just not great. It really... It just doesn't do a whole lot. Like, the bardings are really cool. I'm totally on board with these bardings. I think they look really awesome. The shields look really good. Again, the plumes and stuff, but, like, the figures themselves kind of leave a lot to be desired. Like, it's just kind of funny to go back and look at some of this old school stuff. It's all these, like, happy little knights. They're all smiling, and I don't know. They don't have, like, the coolest prints, but then they have this, like, really epic sort of castle to defend, and yeah, it's just kind of funny to sort of jump back in time and rebuild some of this stuff. I mean, obviously the figures today, you know, we're pretty spoiled with some of the cool prints and all that kind of stuff on figures today. And these definitely have their spot, and there's like a nostalgia to these. But man, some of those old chainmail prints are just, I don't know, they don't do it. They don't do it for me. They deserve an upgrade. So I think it would be very, very cool to see a modern take on this castle. Again, didn't have this growing up. This was an addition that I just thought, I mean, there's so many minifigs. It comes with 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It comes with 12 minifigures. Yeah, 12 minifigures, a whole bunch of shields. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of these shields, which are so awesome. Plus one of these printed flags. Of course, no stickers. Yeah, a bunch of weapons, all these archers and stuff. 4 horses, 2 bardings. Like, it's legit. I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed the build. So I ended the build, though, and I had these extra parts. Now, I don't know. The guy who sold it to me, he packaged it really, really well. He had everything separated. Everything is in pretty solid condition. There's one sort of weak clip on this saddle in that horse there. And it's possible he gave me extra pieces, but I was going back through the instructions and I don't see where I'm missing these parts. 2 corner parts and a 1x2 brick. Yeah, I don't know. If you spot it, let me know. But I went through and I didn't see it. But, oh, the other cool thing, lastly, and let's see if I can do this with one hand, is this does open up. So it's on a 16x32 base plate and then 2 16x16 old base plates. And you can open it up. It's just pinned in there. And then you can slide this over in here. I'll give you another shot of the inside. These will spin out. Let's see if I can do this without. And then this spins out. And of course now the figs are the wrong way, but you can also display it like this, which looks so cool. Yeah. It's a really neat castle. I think it's awesome. It obviously is lacking specific details and things, but I think for the time, and yeah, I just think for the time it just is really well done. It's really well done, and honestly, for the time, I mean, it's better than that one. Maybe the figures are better in that set, but the build is fairly lackluster, and it just uses so many panels. And that one still lacks detail, right? And that one came out how many more years than this one, after this one did. So it's cool to go back. It's cool to go back and, obviously I'm trying to collect, the castle sets. Maybe one day we'll have all of them. I don't know. Kind of just piece by piece type of a thing. But it's really cool to go back and build and put some of these together and sort of start to learn the castle lore, I guess, of LEGO that way, and learn bits and pieces as you move along and kind of work your way through the years and jumping back and forth and seeing how designs change and, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. So I'm really happy with this purchase, though, and it looks great, and I think it'll look really great, probably up on the top shelf, I think. I don't know. But it'll have a home here in the collection. Thanks, everybody, for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for coming along as we look at this old set and get a little bit of nostalgia for some vintage LEGO Castle. As always, something we love on this channel. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. But until then, remember, keep on building. Jim out.